Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my reaction of UFC Fight Night, Medic versus Rodriguez. And this is a absolutely amazing card. We had everything on this card. We had finishes, we had scraps, we had a boring fight, we had a sad fight, we had everything. Let's get right into it, starting with the first fight of the night. Marina Spasic versus Steohanie Luciano. This one was pretty clear cut. Like I said, you pick the girl that's in the UFC over the girl who's not in the UFC. And something that we're really learning about the girls that are in the UFC versus the girls that are not, there's a very big difference in the grappling. That's really what it is, because Spasic didn't look bad on the feet. Round one, most of the fights on this card were only one round, and this one started off. Spasic comes out just throwing heat, and that's the thing that I like about these Serbians. They don't give a fuck about their chin. They don't care about having, like, let me be careful. Let me have my guard up. They're just coming at you. And you can tell right away from the first fight of the night, this is going to be a generational card, like I said in my prediction video. So Spasic comes out, starts throwing combos. Luciano tried to go for takedowns early. They got stuffed. But then once she started also striking, and it was like a 50-50. Yeah, 25 for 22 strikes. Spasic didn't look like the better striker, but even, like, she would throw a combo, and as she would finish, her chin would be in the air, and Luciano would just hit her with one punch over the guard. And then she would come with the combo. And they were kind of just going combo for combo until Luciano switched it up, shot for a takedown. Spasic thought, we're striking now. Luciano said, no, we're not. Shot for a takedown. And once she took her down, it was over. That's when you could see what UFC level is, because Luciano just easily went to her back and choked her out. And yeah, and that was that. She got, it was funny. Anytime, like they started off and already one of their fighters lost, and every time one of their fighters lost, the crowd just went silent. It wasn't even boos. It was just quiet. And it was like, you thought maybe there was like 10 people there. You hear like 3 people clapping, like, and everyone else just went quiet because, they support their people. And yeah, let's move on to Jovan Leka versus Alexander Poppeck. Finally, one of their guys won. Finally, second fight of the night. Jovan Leka was like 50 pounds bigger than Alexander Poppeck. He didn't do anything for the first like 2 minutes. If you look at it, what do you mean 10 total strikes? They're saying 10 total strikes right over here. That's just incorrect. He did not. He threw 2 strikes. Oh, they're counting the ground and pound. All right, fine. He didn't do anything for the first 2 minutes. Alexander Poppeck was just coming in and out of range. He actually looked decent. He landed 8 strikes. He was just throwing in combo, and he was getting very close to Leka, and he did have the speed advantage. Obviously, he's literally a light heavyweight fighting at heavyweight. But Jovan Leka just fucking plotted at range, and then he just threw, first at some point he threw like a hook. It landed on Poppeck's guard, and then he threw a body kick. It landed right on the liver. You could fucking hear that shit. It was a snap. It was like a psh. And Poppeck went down, and that was that. It was 2 minutes and 22 seconds. Yeah, so for 2 minutes and 18 seconds, Leka did nothing, and then he just threw a body kick, and that was that, And that's what happens when you have 50 pounds over your opponent. I think I'm adding weight every time. 65 pounds over his opponent. Anyway, that's that. So that was that fight. Let's move on. This could be a very quick breakdown because not a lot happened. Each fight was basically just a highlight, Nina Milosevic versus Hailey Cowan. I picked Nina Milosevic because Hailey Cowan is terrible, and Hailey Cowan was terrible. Now, for like the first, because it's a 3, this one almost went a full round. For like the first like 2 minutes, Hailey Cowan was kind of feeling herself. She attempted a couple strikes at range, and so did Nina Milosevic. And I think Nina like landed a couple head kicks on the guard of Hailey Cowan, and then she just went for a 2 down the middle, straight to the body, across to the body. It hurt Hailey Cowan badly. It hit the solar plex, and Hailey Cowan just. It's Cowan, isn't it? Hailey Cowan fucking folded down. She tried to recover from it. Milosevic just threw the same. She's like, if it worked the first time, let's do it the second time. Fucking throws another cross right to the body, and that one folded Hailey Cowan, and that's it. And that's that. And to be fair, I haven't really seen guys fall down to a cross to the body. You can have liver shots that drop people, but just straight to the solar plex, I don't remember one in recent history. I just don't remember. Maybe there were, but I feel like this is a very women thing to do. No offense. No offense. Now you cannot get offended. I said no offense. Anyway, that was that. She has great personality. She got on the mic. I don't remember what she was saying, but she had a lot of energy. She seemed excited to just... And that's what it was with all these fighters. They just seemed super excited to fight in front of their home crowd. Like going to these kinds of places, instead of just fucking go to Abu Dhabi... This is a great example. We'll save the rant for the end, but this is a great example why you don't go to places like Abu Dhabi and you go to these type of places. Belgrade, Belgrade. whichever one it is, Serbia. You know, like these people, they're hungry for fucking fights, you know? So let's give it to them. Because then they come out, they have great performances. Let's move on to the next fight tonight. Mateusz Rebecki versus Kyle Prepolec. Do I think Rebecki should have been a minus 600 favorite? No. Did he still like fucking drive right through Prepolec? Yes, he did. Prepolec is not UFC level, and I'm happy that they gave Rebecki a layup finally. He's been fighting all the tough guys, Klein, you know, which now we have some questions about that. We'll get to that. Don't worry, we'll get to that. But yeah, Rebecki just steamrolled through him. He shot a takedown right away, which I think caught Prepolec off guard because you'd assume, like, Rebecki, if you watch his fight style, he likes to brawl, but he does have good takedowns. He's kind of like a Michael Chandler, you know? He does have underrated wrestling, and so he shoots a takedown almost instantly, gets it on Kyle Prepolec. I think he stung him on the feet a little bit. He was throwing some uppercut crosses. You know how it is. They took down Prepolec, and then he just dominated Prepolec on the ground. Prepolec had no idea how to get up. He does have a weakness in the grappling, and he has a weakness in the striking. He's just terrible. He shouldn't be in the UFC. But Benoit did just completely ragdoll him for 2 rounds. But anyway, Rebecki ended up getting one of his legs in like that Dagestani position, like the figure 4, but only one, which was weird because usually you have to get 2 of the legs because otherwise they could just use one leg to get up. But Prepolec couldn't use one leg to get up for some reason, even though it was free. Anyway, Rebecki just had that leg in a pretzel and just threw ground and pound over and over. That's how he got 132 significant total strikes. What did they show significant? 75? Whatever. Anyway, he just kept on punching until the ref had to stop it because Prepolec just wasn't moving. He just couldn't get out. It wasn't a brutal knockout or anything, but it's nice to see Rebecki get a win. Like it's like a clean win for Rebecki. He didn't take any damage in this fight. We're gonna see him in 2 more months, which is like awesome. You know, they'll give him against a killer who will fuck him up. But you know, I'm happy that he got this one to just like show that hey, he belongs in the UFC at least. You know. Anyway, let's move on. 2. Denis Buzukja versus Bogdan Grad. Bogdan Grad has hair now. That's it. The title run starts now. This was a scrap. So even in this card, when there weren't first round finishes, this one was a second round finish. It's just a fucking scrap. Let me try to remember this fight to the best of my ability. Bogdan Grad, round 1. First of all, on the feet it was pretty competitive. Bogdan Grad did have the power advantage, but he also doesn't have great defense. So like Denis Buzukja, he's pretty technical, but he's not explosive. He doesn't have a good chin, and that's about. And he has no power. So like it's tough for him to get respect from people. Bogdan Grad just walked him down, was shooting takedowns, mixing it up, throwing the most ridiculous strikes you've ever seen in your life. He threw at some point. He threw what was it? Like an upward elbow. Like his elbow just came up like that. Very Yuri Prohaska style. I don't know if Yuri has thrown something like that, but it looked like Yuri. I got flashbacks for a second. Whew, you know. But then, yeah, he got a couple takedowns, got 2 takedowns in round 1. The first one, Buzukja, he was trying to go for like a straight arm lock, but Buzukja has pretty good submission defense. So Buzukja ended up getting back up. He ended up getting a second takedown later on in the round, and this time he got a lot of control time, and he got a lot of like good ground and pound because he kind of got into Buzukja's back, and he landed like that. If that round went 5 more seconds, you could have stopped the fight. In fact, you could have stopped the fight as it was, and there wouldn't be a lot of complaints because Buzukja was kind of done. Like after round 1, Bogdan Grad was tired, so it took him time to get up. But Buzukja was like his corner was trying to help him to the corner, and the ref didn't let them because he's like, no, he has to get up on his own. Like they were like watching to see could this guy recover. Like it was pretty fucking serious. Round 2, Bogdan Grad comes out. I thought, let's say he's gonna smoke through Buzukja now because Buzukja, smoke through Buzukja. Because Buzukja was like almost TKO'd in round 1. But Bogdan Grad did get a little tired, but so was Buzukja. So round 2 was a lot more sloppy. They were kind of going tit for tat at this point. Buzukja was landing some combos, but so was Grad. And then Grad shot another takedown, I believe, got on top of Buzukja, and he gets this arm triangle. And hold on. First of all, he landed a couple of retarded strikes in this round too. Besides for that elbow, he's throwing spinning wheel kicks and spinning back fists and just any ridiculous thing that you could think of. He fucking tried. He was just trying it all. He threw like 2 wheel kicks in a row. Like the first one didn't land, but maybe the second one will, you know. But anyway, he gets this arm triangle, and it wasn't tight at first, but then he got past the leg, and he was in like a half guard situation. He starts squeezing, and Buzukja clearly taps the leg 2 times. I clearly felt the tap. 2 or 3 times, he clearly tapped the leg, and then he goes to reach his own leg, but the ref stopped it because he tapped. Now, and so that's it. So that's how the fight ended. Now, I do think deep down in my heart, Buzukja didn't meet the tap because he was like throwing a fit after, and you see Aljamain Sterling in the corner like, oh, what the hell, ref? They love coping. He was going to go out from that triangle. That was a deep-ass triangle. I know. But I don't think he was faking it. I think he really was like trying to push the leg off, and because he was like on the way going out, he was like fumbling to tap that leg to get it off because he's trying to grab his own leg. But he was just like, the technique that he was trying to use for defense, which is grabbing your own leg with your arm, it's a valid defense for arm triangle, but he was using the wrong arm and grabbing the wrong leg. He couldn't grab the left leg that he was supposed to because Bogdan Grad had half guard, so he started grabbing the other leg. He was first trying to push the leg away, which is when the tap happened, and then he's trying to grab the other leg, but not with the arm that's choking, that's getting choked, with the other arm. That's not how it works. It wouldn't even do anything. So regardless, he would have gone out. I don't think he intended to tap, but you did tap. Like, I don't care what your intentions were. You tapped. You tapped the leg 3 times. The fight's over. You can't throw a fit. And either way, he was going to lose. Great win from Bogdan Grad. Love the hair, man. I love it. Look great. And how good is Luke Riley? You know, how good is he? Because he knocked out Bogdan Grad in round 2. But crazy pace, great fight. And let's move on to Borislav Nikolic versus Mark Vologdin. This is one of only 2 fights that have gone to decision on this card. And this was a great fight. I said this in my prediction video. First of all, I did pretty well on picks on this card, and I picked Nikolic to win by decision, and I said by decision because they both have good chins, and they're both here to scrap. Round 1, Nikolic comes out, swinging like a retard, as the Serbians like to do, and Mark Vologdin just clips him with a hook, like right away, like 30 seconds into the fight. Nikolic is down, looks like he's about to get knocked out. I'm like, oh no, the fucking boss baby knocked you out, 5'3" boss baby, and then Nikolic survives, ends up making it back up, and he started working his way back into the fight. Round 1, obviously, you had to give to Vologdin because he got that knockdown. But besides for that, Nikolic was doing pretty well, keeping him at range. Vologdin would, like, circle around the cage, and then he would try to come in with a combo. But Nikolic has crazy pressure. Like, as a taller guy, you'd assume he's on the outside, taps and leg kicks, but he's just fucking in Vologdin's face, trying to trade. It's a risky game because he gets dropped in almost every single fight. But when he got dropped, I was okay with it because I've seen him get dropped before, and he ends up coming back anyways and usually getting a finish. This was a 3-rounder. If it went to round 4, he would have gotten a finish. But let's go into round 2. Well, round 2, so round 1 you give to Vologdin because of the knockdown. Besides for that, it was pretty back and forth. Let's look at the significant strikes. 12-14. Not a lot happened in round 1 because there was a knockdown. Did he get a takedown in round 2? They're saying it was he got a takedown and Mark Vologdin got 2. I don't think that's really true. But then round 2, this was like also, again, a tit for tat. It was very entertaining. They were going back and forth. It says Vologdin's getting takedowns. I don't remember. I think he like got onto his back a couple times. But Nikolic is very scrappy on the ground. Like when Vologdin was going for takedowns, I was saying like that's not a smart idea. If you watch this guy's fights, when you try to take him down, he has this fucking weird like. You ever you ever like roll with these guys who are just super tall and like lanky? It's like tough to like try to hold them down because you're holding down their chest and their hips are already on your back somehow. Like you don't even know where they are, and that's what this was like. But round 2. Nikolic started using his jab more, and this is the round where he kind of started messing up Vologdin's face, busted his nose up, and did a lot more damage. Vologdin did land a couple combos that like slightly rocked Nikolic, but I would give this round, and the judges gave this round to Nikolic, just based off he landed more strikes. It says 24-23. I think he landed a little bit more than that. And then the real thing is he did damage. Like Vologdin's face was messed up. Round 3, Nikolic comes out. Vologdin goes for a leg kick. Nikolic hits him with a 1-2, drops him badly with the 2. Vologdin tries to recover. As Vologdin gets up and is circling, Nikolic lands an uppercut that was there the whole time. Also head kicks. Like, why are you not throwing head kicks against Vologdin? I think he threw one of them in round 2, and it landed flush. And it was like, well, not flush, but it landed. You know, like, fucking keep on throwing them. The guy's half your height. What are you doing, man? But yeah, round 3, lands that uppercut, drops Vologdin badly a second time. That's what they're going to say. They should say 2 knockdowns. I don't understand what's going on over here. There's something very off with this whole thing. It says 1 knockdown for Vologdin and 0 for Nikolic in round 3. That doesn't make any sense. I don't understand this website, and I get upset at this every time I make a breakdown video or reaction video. But anyway, he drops Vologdin bad, gets on top of him, ends up just doing a lot of ground and pound. He's trying to get this guillotine. He held on to it for like a minute. He wasn't going to get it. It was 1-arm guillotine. But he's so fucking weird. All these guys. He has a guillotine, and he starts punching Vologdin with his free arm from behind his back. It's not creating any damage, but it's really funny. And then they would like do like a close-in on Vologdin's face, and you just see blood like pouring out of his face because it's getting squeezed. Looked brutal. And then he just kept on landing. So then like 30 seconds before the round's over, he just let go of the guillotine and started throwing ground and pound. And he landed heavy elbows, heavy punches, and he did a lot of damage. And the judges gave that a 10-8 round to him, which I agree with. I think like he did a lot. Look, 51-6 on significant strikes, on strikes in general. And plus the sub attempts and significant, it's even like 28 of them were significant. He landed a lot of damage in this fight, and this was a crazy scrap. And you know, he lived up to the hype, kind of. Like, he got dropped early, and I do think anybody competent beats him. In fact, anybody competent beats most of the people on this fucking card. They weren't good technically, which is why it felt like watching an amateur card or like a regional card, which it kind of was, but like under the UFC. You know, it's like a regional card in Serbia under the UFC. Why not? Let's fucking do it. Let's move on to the next fight of the night. Oban Elliott versus Michael Oliveira. It's sad, man, but I did pick this. You know, like Michael Oliveira knocks out Oban Elliott in round 1. He to begin with, Oban Elliott looked good. You know, Oban Elliott came out. He looked like he was not respecting Michael Oliveira at all. He was just like gonna walk him down, which I think is the only way you beat someone like this. I think that's like either that, or you shoot takedowns immediately, which I think he tried to do as well, but it didn't really work out. But like, you're not gonna, if you're just trying to like circle and like evade their shots, they're gonna get you eventually. You know, like, it's not a realistic game plan. But like, it's not a realistic game plan to beat somebody like Michael Oliveira. He's a fucking monster. I don't know who let him take this fight. Which one of his coaches thought he could win this? But Michael Oliveira, yeah, so Oban Elliott comes in with a couple combos. They landed somewhat, you know, but then Michael Oliveira just throws a fucking jab and drops Elliott badly with the jab. Elliott tries to wrestle. He couldn't take down Oliveira. He gets back to his feet. Oliveira hits him with a hook over the top, and then one more punch behind that puts Elliott down badly. Elliott tries to like kind of turtle up, and Oliveira just flattens him out and starts punching him over and over again. Kind of a late stoppage. Like, there were like 5 punches at the end of that were just completely not necessary. And I don't know why the ref let him take that much damage, but late stoppage. But yeah, this was rough. Like, in my prediction video, I was talking about, you know, maybe I'll pick Elliott, but like, that would have just been a biased take. If I picked Elliott, it would have been complete bias. Logically, there was no way for him to win this fight, and that's why he didn't. Brutal. Oliveira, though, he's a fucking contender. Fucking 10-0 now, 9 of them by finish. This guy's a fucking monster. Like, give him like, we have all these like real Ateba Gutierrez out there, but the UFC is just giving Ateba Gutierrez 5 cans in a row. But these guys, they're like, okay, this guy's better, you know, because Ateba is still going to like round 2 with fucking Ozzy Diaz, you know. This guy, even though he's a weight class down, if you give him an Ozzy Diaz type of guy, he's flatlining him. Oban Elliott is a better win than anything that Ateba Gutierrez has on his record, you know. But anyway, that's enough hate for that. Great, another first round finish, as all the other ones on this card. This was awesome. Let's move on to the next fight of the night. Ludovic Klein versus Tofiq Musayev. Tofiq Musayev, count your fucking days, man. Count your fucking days. Let's just recap this fight real quick before we get to the really important part of this fight. So round 1, Ludovic Klein didn't look good in this fight at all. Like, just objectively, he didn't look great. Tofiq Musayev had the range advantage, but was quicker than him in the pocket too. Tofiq was just targeting Ludovic Klein's lead leg, which is his right leg, because he just had ankle surgery on it. And so Tofiq Musayev, being the guy he is, was like, let me just fucking target it. No respect at all from this guy. No, you know, like, that's not, there's reasons to hate on him. This is not one of them. He was just taking advantage of a weakness he knew his opponent had. Let me just check this fucking, yeah, that's still good. Just have to make sure the mic's still working. Yeah, so he's targeting the leg, and it's having an effect on Ludovic Klein. It's an inside kick. He's basically kicking the knee. It would only look like it looked like it was causing damage, but at no point was Ludovic Klein having a hard time walking on that leg. So I don't know exactly how much damage it was causing. This reminds me of that Sean O'Malley fight with Ayman Zahabi. You know, like, I don't know what the fuck you're doing, bro. But at a certain point, Ludovic Klein would just let him kick the leg and just answer back with a body kick or a leg kick. And at a certain point, it became a head kick. And so you had to give Tofiq Musayev round 1 just because he did land a lot of those kicks. And even on the feet, even with the hands, he was landing, like, he would land the 2 down the middle because it was open stance. So it's an easy strike to land. And then he landed a couple combos, but Ludovic Klein was in the fight, but he looked slower. He didn't look great in round 1. Yeah, wait, it says 21-21 on strikes. I don't know. Tofiq Musayev definitely got round 1. Did he drop Ludovic Klein in round 1? I don't think so. So I don't know why I felt, oh, I guess he did in round 1. Did he? Okay, I don't remember, but maybe he like rocked. I think he rocked Ludovic Klein at some point. Oh, yes, he did. He rocked Ludovic Klein, and then Ludovic Klein groin shot at him at the same time, which we support. Him, do it all fucking day. I don't care. Foul him as much as you want. And then so Ludwig Klein got to recover off of it because Tofiq Musayev got kicked in the groin. But Tofiq Musayev was like, no, let me get in there. He's trying to pull a Pereira. You're not fucking Pereira, bro, for multiple reasons. Anyway, round 1 goes to Tofiq Musayev. Round 2, Ludwig Klein starts looking good again. You know, starts throwing in combo, landing the 2 down the middle, landing body kicks, and he even he rocked Tofiq Musayev at some point. But then Tofiq Musayev, and he landed this nice body shot, and you start thinking the tides are turning. It's getting close to the end of the second round. He's landing good. But then, let me see the significant strikes on this. Yeah, 20. Okay, whatever. It sucks because whenever there's like a ground and pound finish, the strikes become crazy. But he was winning this round. And then Tofiq Musayev just starts walking him down, and once Klein was on the cage, he just, I don't know, nothing landed before, but he just looked open. Like right away, I didn't feel comfortable him being with his back against the cage. Even though Tofiq Musayev is the taller opponent, he shouldn't be the better one in the pocket, but he was. He threw a couple shots as Ludwig Klein was covering up, but when you cover up with the small gloves, you're going to get hit by something, and Musayev landed a cross and then a hook as Klein was exiting. It was almost like a Loner Kavanaugh, Charles Johnson type of knockout, where he got dropped with like the hook as he's walking away. And Klein gets dropped badly. Tofiq Musayev comes in, starts throwing ground and pound. You think he's out, but then Klein turtles up, and he's about to get up. The ref was like kind of in the way, which was weird. Like the ref was going to step in, and then Klein turtled up, so he was trying to get out of the way, but his leg got stuck between Tofiq Musayev and Klein. And then Tofiq Musayev reached into his fucking cheating book. He's like, you know, we already did the fucking cage grab. What's next? Fucking back of the head shots. He threw about 7 back of the head shots clean to the back of the head. Like there's not even an argument. Just bam, 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 bam. 7 back of the head shots. The ref steps in. You're like, is he stepping in because it's illegal shots? No, it's just a TKO. And that's it. And I put this guy in my top 10 most hated fighters list. And he was only number 10. Bro, he slides up to like 6 now. He's making a run for not Tom Aspinall, fucking Cyril Gahn. He only has, okay, Tofiq Musayev, and you're 1 foul away, bro, from me making a video just about you. I'm warning you. That's 2 now. The third one, you're out. I'm warning you, man. Don't you dare. He has 3 fights in the UFC. The first one, he lost. The second one and the third one, they're both wins. Both of them, he cheated egregiously. In the second fight, I've mentioned this multiple times, he got dropped badly, and then he grabbed the cage with 2 hands as he was getting suplexed, ended up on top, and ended up beating the guy by decision. And now this. Now, he dropped Ludwig Klein. That was legit. That was a legit knockdown. He was on his way to a TKO. But when Ludwig Klein is turtling up and starting to come back up, and you're like, oh, will he recover? And then you throw 7 back of the head shots, that's fucked up. Like, I don't care. The same with Cyril Gahn versus fucking Alex Pereira. Like, he's literally reaching into the cheater's book of how to do it. You can't just throw back of the headshots when you drop somebody. It's still illegal. Even though you dropped him, the rules still didn't change. All right? It fucking pisses me off. And he's ugly. And he just looks evil. This type of guy, you never expected to say good morning to you. You know what I mean? If I walk down the street and this guy sees me, I already assume he wants to kill me. I don't know why. You can ask him why. I don't know. He looks evil. I fucking hate this guy. Jesus Christ. What do we do about this? Are we going to do something about this? When they were showing the replay on the UFC broadcast, they were showing the replay. All they showed was the knockdown, and then they specifically showed the ground and pound when like facing their backs, where you can't see the head getting hit. So they know what they're doing. They understand that they're covering up a whole bunch of back of the head shots, because otherwise, just show the ground and pound shots. Why are we avoiding it? So you know what you did. You fucked up. Acknowledge it. Like, turn this into no contest. I don't care that he was on the way to finishing Klein. You can't just fucking foul for no reason. There's no shit waiting for no reason. You just can't foul. You just can't do it. But he's done it twice now. 2 in a row. His only 2 wins, both of them, there's a big foul involved. Fuck this guy. I'm just gonna, maybe this will grow as a rivalry, but he's really coming for God's place as my most hated fighter. Fucking pisses me off. Who does he fight next? I don't care. Fucking put him against Bobby Green. Fuck, he would fucking beat Bobby Green. Put him against Rufy. Put him against Rufy. Yeah, that's it. Put him against Ilya Taporia. All right? That's what I want to fucking see for this guy. Fuck him. Jesus Christ. Milos Janicic versus Noah Gugnon, or it's Gugnon, apparently. So this was like my only bad pick on the card, I would say. It's not my only wrong pick. I went 10-4 on this card, which is, it's not too shabby. Could have done better. For example, this fight. This was the only pick that I regretted after I made it. I was actually considering like putting a comment to the video beforehand, like the breakdown video saying I changed my pick to Noah Gugnon, but it was too late. I'm going to sit on my morals for this one. Janicic, like, he's a good striker, and like people were saying, and the way for Gugnon to win was with the grappling. But then he just threw a calf kick, and and Janicic's leg just stopped working. So my bad. I didn't see that one coming. One calf kick, his leg was done, and then that same leg he throws a body kick with, and it hits Gugnon's elbow, and now it's fucked on the calf and the ankle. So now he's rolling on the ankle, and his calf is fucked, kind of like O'Malley. And then and then Gugnon kicks the other leg, and the other leg is fucked too. So like, what the fuck? What are you, fucking Justin, a Junior Tafa? One leg kick and that's it. This is at like the lower weight classes. This is at lightweight, you know. But he goes down. So yes, so he gets calf kicked in one leg, then he gets calf kicked in the other leg. He falls down, and then Gugnon just gets on top of him. He could have stood him back up, and Janicic would not be able to stand up, and it would just be a TKO to leg kicks. But he wanted to prove a point. He went down to the ground, got onto his back, and just easily rear naked choked him. And that's that. I mean, it's a minute and 20 seconds, this fight. There's not much to break down with this fight. That's just it. It was a bad pick for me. I'll take it on the chest. Not like a lot of times I pick somebody and I'm like, hey, you know, I could have seen it go this way. This was just bad. Like, I mean, Gugnon, like, I've seen him get knocked out before, and it was like a standing TKO. So I was like, I think you're kind of a quitter. But he was much more technical in general. Like, Janicic just doesn't look good either. But we didn't see a fight. Like, it's not like we got to see who's better on the feet. He just landed 2 calf kicks, and the game was over. And he got on the mic, and he was like, yeah, that was the game plan. What? What was the game plan? Landing a calf kick and destroying the leg with 1 calf kick? I don't think so. But then he also said, I choked out your boy. What did he say? He had a name for it. He was like, I choked. Basically, he embraced it because he's a fucking French dude, and the crowd was booing him as they were booing everybody else. So he just got onto the cage and he just fucking like, yeah, let me hear you guys. I choked out your comrade. That's what it was. I choked your comrade. I choked your comrade. I had to switch from the fucking Russian accent to the French accent. So that's it. And that was great. Nice finish. Let's move on to Vlasto, Cepo versus Gilbert Urbina. God damn it. You know, I was considering a Gilbert Urbina pick. I just didn't think... Look, I said Vlasto Cepo was going to get knocked out real soon. I just didn't think it would be against Gilbert Urbina. 7-5 Gilbert Urbina. Now 8-5 Gilbert Urbina. He was 1 fight away from having a fucking even record, you know. But he knocks out Cepo. Cepo fucking came in looking like a retard. He's off the sauce. That's the first thing we have to say. He's super soft right now. On the regional scene, he was a fucking monster, jacked. Now he looks skinny fat, you know. So there's definitely that played an aspect in it. But I think his style would have never transferred to the UFC. Now we know that for sure because he got knocked out by Gilbert Urbina. I think he's the only person in the world who can say that. I don't know if Gilbert Urbina has knocked out anybody else. I'm not sure. He did drop Uros Medic though, which I said in my breakdown. Like, there is that. But yeah, Vlasto Cepo came in swinging like a fucking retard as he did in the regional scene, but he got away with it in the regional scene, and he clipped Urbina a couple times. But you know, that magical power kind of disappears now that you're not on the roids anymore. And Urbina just kind of ate it. He covered up, landed, I believe was it a check hook? I think it was just a cross down the middle. It might have been a jab. Was it a jab? I think it was a jab. I don't know. It was like a cross down the middle. Landed on Cepo. Might have been a check hook. He landed a punch. I think it was a jab. It was a jab. Guys, it was a jab. We've decided. And Cepo goes down badly. And Urbina just landed a whole bunch of ground and pound shots. Who was the ref for this? Whoever the ref was, gave him every fucking chance. Mark Goddard was the ref. He just gave him every single chance. Like, we've seen early stoppages from Mark Goddard. This was arguably a late stoppage from Mark Goddard. He could have stopped this fight 5 punches beforehand. But this was their boy. Like, Cepo, like, because they made a press conference for this fight and for this card. And Cepo was getting the loudest cheers by far. So this was like their boy. And he just got flatlined in round 1 by Gilbert Urbina. So yeah, they went all quiet. They're booing him, but whatever. You know, it is what it is. Like, you guys can't get too upset. Like, not all your fighters are gonna win. You know. So great fight. Again, let's move on to Dusko Todorovic versus Robert Valentin. I picked Valentin by round 1 KO, but he was very intent on getting a submission in this fight. He comes out, fucking throws a lead teep that sends Todorovic fucking flying across the octagon. And then from there, Todorovic tried to take him down. Valentin went for a guillotine, ended up on top with it. Because that's, again, he's fucking scrambly. And he was, like, really trying to get this guillotine. Todorovic kept on getting up from it. I think Valentin actually gave up bottom position, trying to go for it. Ended up in, like, bottom half guard, almost getting Von Flued. But then he worked his way back up. And they were just kind of rolling back and forth. I'll get a fucking reversal. Then you will. And, like, Valentin got up. He got on top of Todorovic. And Todorovic got back on top of him. And then at a certain point, Valentin finally got a hold of the neck. Ended up getting a guillotine, right? Was that what it was? I believe it was a guillotine. And Todorovic tapped out. Oh yeah, at first he was going for a standing guillotine, and Todorovic was like climbing him, like just fucking putting his legs on top, which is very legit. I do it all the time because I'm short, so people go for guillotines on me. You just fucking climb them. If you're in the air, they can't fucking get that arch in. You know the way to finish it. If you're curious, viewer, how to finish a standing guillotine, once you pull it, instead of arching back, you want to first sit in. Like you want to squat down and then arch back because now they have nowhere to go. Because you're not just leaning away, you're coming in first and then up. So anyway, that's my breakdown on how to finish a standing guillotine. But Robert Valentin finished a lying down guillotine, a regular grounded guillotine. But yeah, he really wanted to get it, so whatever. I've seen people pick him first round submission. He's now coming off of 2 first round submissions in a row. So good for him. Team Yuri Prohaska in the works. And he's even fucking autistic like Yuri Prohaska. Pulls up Todorovic to do the post-fight interview with him. Like, leave him alone, man. He just got submitted in front of his home crowd in the first round. And you're forcing him to translate for you, I believe. And then he goes, like, the reason I wanted Todorovic to be here is because we are the same. Which, we know what you're saying. He's like, we're like brothers. I get it, bro. I get it. And yeah, we're like brothers. We look the same. It's a shame that we have to fight. And he's making Todorovic fucking repeat all this. He's like, it's a shame I had to submit him in round 1. And Todorovic has to tell his home crowd that he fucking lost in round 1. Like, it was really autistic of Robert Valentin. Reminds me of when Bryce Mitchell fucking forced Dan Ige to do a prayer with him. Like, these fucking autists. But they're awesome. And I'm so happy that Valentin is on a 2-fight win streak now because it was looking bad. It was going to be bad. He was 0-3 in the UFC last year, you know? So I'm happy that Yuri Prohaska had a win. If the real Yuri won't be able to win, at least he did. Let's move on to Alexander Rakic versus Marcin Tybura. This was the shit fight of the card. This was the only shit fight on the card. All the other ones went to a finish besides for the Vologdin one, but even that was a fucking scrap. This was just shit. 83 total strikes? No, he didn't. How many? When? When did he land? Okay, 36 in round 1, 18, 29. Okay, I don't agree with these strikes, but regardless, I don't even remember what happened in this fight. It was so fucking boring. Round 1 was fine, like, because there was like that, ooh, maybe one of them to get a knockout. Rakic looked good for heavyweight, like, frame-wise. I think he weighted 237, which, by the way, they were saying he was cutting 40 pounds to light heavyweight. How? If you're only 237 now, if you cut 40 pounds, that's like 198, you know? Like, how did... You did it. You weighed 206. So I don't understand. Were you bigger at light heavyweight than you are at heavyweight? I don't understand what's going on. It didn't make sense. But regardless, we should talk about the fight. I've been avoiding it because the fight fucking sucked. Yeah, Rakic landed a couple body kicks. And he, like, in the beginning, they were throwing combos, and Rakic was just clearly better. And was, like, he was even kind of rocky Tybura in round 1. And Tybura had his crafty fucking push kick, his little teep down the middle. He landed that a couple times. That's all 37 significant strikes from Tybura. I don't know if you see the number, but it's 37 for him. They were all fucking teeps to the middle. He didn't land anything else but that. Maybe in round 2 he landed like a couple combos. Oh, a cross maybe. But yeah, Rakic in round 1, whenever they would crash, he would just land the better shots, the quicker shots. And at a certain point, he tried to pull out that fucking head kick. You know, the knockout that he got. The only real highlight that he has, because then he was on a 4-fight losing streak after that. And maybe that's why he played it safe over here, because he was on a 4-fight losing streak. But round 2 and round 3, nothing fucking happened, man. It was just like jabs and teeps at range, you know? And Rakic just landed the better. I think he was throwing a couple body kicks. He started throwing in some leg kicks too. But as a whole, this fight fucking sucked. There's nothing much to say about that. I don't want to bore you about talking about this fight. That's how you know if a boring fight is boring. When even talking about it, I'm fucking bored, you know? So nothing fucking happened. It was and I'm going to see, I understand Tybura's ranked number 13, but Rakic went up a weight class. The lighter man skill should have been a lot better than this. You should have knocked him out of round 1. Tom Aspinall knocked him out of round 1. I know he's a champion, but I'm just saying, even Ante Deliha put Tybura around a round 1. And Ante Deliha's not even that good. You know, like, he hasn't won since then. He's on a 2-fight losing streak now. The first one shouldn't really have been, but the second one, regardless, he lost to fucking Sergey Spivak. So, he's not that good. So, Rakic, like, so you lose to Spivak? Is Rakic a Spivak victim? Is that what we have to say now? I don't know. I've just seen a couple light heavyweights move up to heavyweight, and they've looked better than Rakic. So this is not great from him. You know. Anyway, let's move on to the co-main event of the evening. Jan Blachowicz versus Navajo Stirling. God fucking damn it, man. I'm just going to sit here and dangle my legs for a little bit as I fucking have to live with this reality. I'm glad the main event fucking performed because this was depressing. We had a boring fight and then this comes up. And Jan Blachowicz is just old. He gets knocked out in round 1 by Navajo Stirling. He looked okay early, but they were saying on the way to the octagon, they said Jan Blachowicz changed the way he fights. He changed his fighting camp because he couldn't lift weights because it would hurt when he did. I don't think you should be allowed to do a professional fight if it hurts when you lift weights during your fight camp. I'm just gonna come out and say that. It might be a bit controversial, but if you can't lift weights, maybe you're not in fighting condition anymore. Jan Blachowicz, he's 43 years old. It's a sad reality. He came in with the Jan Blachowicz straps around his ankles. But Navajo Sterling was throwing calf kicks early on in the round, and you could see they bothered Jan Blachowicz. It used to be like, you're never gonna calf kick Jan Blachowicz. He's got shins of steel, his fucking Polish shins, and like this is a guy who went calf kick with Alex Pereira. You know, he destroyed Magomed Ankalaev's legs. He's the calf kicker, and now Navajo Sterling fucking out calf kicks him, you know? But besides for that, Navajo, he got caught early. We had hope at a point. Jan Blachowicz caught him with like a lead hook / jab that like stumbled off Sterling for a second. He like took a knee for the first responders. And then you're feeling hopeful. Yeah, Jan Blachowicz. But then Sterling ends up landing a cross down the middle, puts Blachowicz down badly, and just lands ground and pound. And, you know, this fight was stopped correctly, you know? He was out, bro. And Navajo Sterling landed some good ground and pound shots and just put out Blachowicz. There was a second where he thought he could recover, but then he started landing these elbows that just split up Blachowicz's face, and they just had to call it. And it's fucking sad. It's just like, it feels wrong because maybe so Meta had it right the whole time. Is that what you're fucking saying? Like, it did look like Jan Blachowicz was ranked number 15. It's so steep because he's 43, but like, it was just last year that he went to a split decision with Carlos Ulberg. You know what I mean? Like, I understand the Guskov fight, he already started looking not that great. He got dropped by Guskov, you know, like, he didn't get dropped by Alex Pereira, and now he's getting dropped by Bogdan Guskov, and then Navajo Sterling is knocking you out. The fall off has to be studied. That's it, like, he has to retire now. I don't see this version of Jan Blachowicz beating anybody ever again in the UFC. Maybe he should fucking go to no, keep him away from bare knuckle boxing, please. But he could pull like an Anthony Smith and fucking, you know, we're not going to talk about Anthony Smith, what he's been up to lately, but right before he did what he did, he fought in bare knuckle MMA. I don't know if you know this. Anthony Smith did a bare knuckle MMA fight after he retired, and he won against a fucking trash can. So let's start doing that for Jan Blachowicz. In fact, for all of our older guys who still want to fight, just put them against trash cans. He's not UFC level anymore. It's so quickly. It went from like draw with Ankalaev, split decision with Alex Pereira, split decision with fucking not Navajo Sterling, fucking Carlos Prates. Not Carlos Prates, Carlos Ulberg, and then draw with Jesus Christ. I'm saying too many names. The point is, it went from a fucking split decision with Alex Pereira and Carlos Ulberg to fucking having a draw with Bogdan Guskov and then getting knocked out by Navajo Sterling within the span of like 2 years. This guy's fucking old, man, you know? It's time to call it a day. Please, Jan Blachowicz, you have to retire. I know you say you like fighting and that's why you do it. You don't have to anymore. But you have to be able to talk to your grandkids in like 5 years from now. Because I'm assuming he's about to have grandkids because he's so fucking old. So that was depressing. Anyway, let's move on to the main event of the evening. Uros Medic versus Daniel Rodriguez. And this went as expected, at least in my opinion. Rodriguez fucking knocks him out in... Medic knocks out Rodriguez in 30 seconds. He landed 11 strikes. Half of them were probably ground and pound. This was 30 seconds into the fight, so nothing really happened. There's nothing to break down, but Medic just basically came out and landed a cross because he's a southpaw. So cross, hook, cross down the middle. All three of them landed. Rodriguez went down badly. As he went down, Medic hits him with a knee up the middle. And then once he goes down, he just kicks him to the fucking liver. Disrespectful shit, man. And that's it. That's the fight. He landed a couple ground and pound shots, but Rodriguez was already out at that point. And that's all the 11 strikes. I just summarized every single strike that happened. And Rodriguez landed a strike. It was probably a calf kick too, you know? But yeah, this was like, I don't know why he fought Daniel Rodriguez. Like, he just TKO'd Jeff Neal. Not TKO'd. He flatlined Jeff Neal, knocked the snot out of him, and then they gave him Daniel Rodriguez off of 8 months in prison. Like, no, bro. I told you, Daniel Rodriguez was not in prison fucking paying a private coach to teach him boxing. He didn't have pads in prison, you know? He was just shadow boxing and doing push-ups. That's all he was doing. I got even in better shape in prison. No, the fuck you didn't, man. You did fucking shadow boxing and push-ups and maybe a couple pull-ups when you had a good dorm frame. You know? A good door frame. So... So that's that. That's the fucking fight. That's all that happened. He got on the mic. He got emotional, which, you know, it was nice. It was nice to just be in the moment and just listen to this. You know, you feel for him. Like, this guy was in his hometown, fucking the main event, performs, like, amazing performance. He got emotional. He made the whole crowd chat with him. Like, yeah, they were all chanting Uros Medic. I think also Rakic had everybody. He was like, Alexander. They all went, Rakic, Alexander, Rakic. But they were all fucking cheering for him. And then he called out Leon Edwards. And let's fucking book it, man. Why not? Let's just see him flatline Edwards in round 1. You can't really make these main events. That's what I said. Like, why does this need to be a main event? We knew it was never going to go 5 rounds. I knew it was never going to go 3 rounds. Like, why did it really need to take up a 5-round space? We could have put somebody else in there. But regardless, he looked great. He should fight Leon Edwards next. And he keeps on talking about this Carlos Prates matchup. And at first, I was like, man, he's probably going to get flatlined by Carlos Prates. I keep on mixing them the fuck up. But now it's kind of interesting. I still think he loses to Prates. But it's a little bit more interesting now. He might just flatline Prates because they both have this crazy power. The fight's not leaving round 1. There's no way. Anyway, so that's my recap of the entire event. Amazing card. And this is what I want to tell you, UFC. Let's do this more often. Let's go to these fucking places like Belgrade, Serbia, and let's go to other let's go to Moscow, Russia. You know, like, let's just go to, I think maybe they did do that recently, but let's just go to these like super, like, small places where all the fans are just like fucking starved for UFC, instead of fucking go to Las Vegas every couple months and Abu Dhabi, where they just fucking sit there in rags and just fucking clap if you're lucky. Let's fucking go to these places. The fans were insane. The UFC even kind of put in effort into this. Like, they did a press conference for a fight night. And it was awesome. It felt like, you know, this is serious. This isn't like an Apex card. Because some fight nights these days feel like Apex cards. The Abu Dhabi one, it felt like an Apex card. And even like, we should reward these fucking people for putting on scraps. I don't care that half of them are dog shit and are probably to get knocked out in their next fight. It doesn't matter. This was an amazing card. Like, let's learn from this. Let's have press conferences for fight nights when you go to somewhere specific. They had official weigh-ins. All the fans came. The fans were amazing. They were cheering for their fighter every time. Like, it felt like there was something going on, even though they weren't that high level. And you saw the results, you know, like, the Abu Dhabi, we saw what the Dagestani Brotherhood has to offer, and now we saw what the Serbian Brotherhood has to offer. Which one are we picking to go to next? You know, let's just reward this. Anyway, that's all I have to tell you guys today, and hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm going to be coming out with breakdowns and reactions to every single fight night. This whole year, we're doing this forever, man. I'm always here. I'm not going anywhere. You'll know I'm making a breakdown and a reaction, and that's it for today. See ya.